It was the USAFL Nationals in 2019 when these two last met in tournament play. Can the visiting DC Eagles turn the tables this time on the Division II national champions, the Philadelphia Hawks? Welcome to Lower Perkiomen Valley Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for this United States Australian Football League Summer Series clash between the Philadelphia Hawks and the DC Eagles. I'm Lauren Borden, thank you for your company. The current temperature is about 90 degrees Fahrenheit in Philadelphia, and as such we'll be playing to a modified format. So we'll have 4 quarters of approximately 15 minutes in length with a drinks break around the halfway mark of each quarter. We'll also be playing on a smaller field in a 12v12 format with a number of players from the Eagles playing as top-up players for the Hawks today. For those joining us for the first time, the Eagles will be in the blue jumpers and they'll be kicking to the creek end or the right-hand side of your screen for the first quarter. The Philadelphia Hawks there hosting the DC Eagles. The Hawks with a few top-up players from the Eagles though today. They'll be looking to get the wood on their home turf as the umpire holds up the ball to signal the start of play. It'll be Chris Jadinson there for the Eagles in the ruck, and she's able to get this tap out. She goes back in to get the ball, but Russell's able just to outmuscle it to it. It'll start dribbling its way now towards the Eagles' forward attack. Hand pass comes out of there from Tritzler. She can get it away, and the umpire will blow his whistle, and we'll have the first free kick of today's match, and it will go into the hands of Tritzler. So Tritzler will be able to go back here and might just be able to aim for the goals and slot one through. Doesn't quite come off the boot as well as she would have expected, but it doesn't matter because it stays in the hands of her team. Sullivan's able to get a hand pass away, and it's Tritzler who goes back in there to send the ball towards goals, but it's cleaned up by Kershaw of the Hawks. So the defensive general there able just to monster a kick out of her side's defensive end of the ground, and she'll get it quite a distance away before another free kick will go into the hands of the Eagles. So it'll be the Eagles that are able to go forward here. A bit of a smother will halt the ball here, but able to pick it up there was Pip Nash of the Eagles. Nice long kick. She'll be able to find her teammate. Yes, she does. She finds Mater, who can run forward here. She puts it on the boot. It dribbles and it bounces. Mater goes back again to try and get the ball, but she falls over Kershaw in the process. So Kershaw at the bottom of the Hawks. Again, it's the Eagles going again. Tritzler can get a hurried kick away. She's got Mater at the bottom of the pack again. Tritzler goes back in for the ball. She couldn't connect. Kershaw at the bottom can get it to Powell. Powell sends off another hand pass, but her teammates collected. The ball stays at the bottom of the pack. Will the umpire come in? Yes, he will. He'll come in and throw this ball up very close to the Eagles' goals. So up goes the ball. It bounces straight into the hands of Turner for the Hawks. A few hurried hand passes here from the Hawks to try and do what they can, but geez, they're being put under pressure here from the Eagles, who don't want to let it out of their goal-scoring side of the ground. It's Kershaw who can pick it up for the Hawks, and she just puts it on the boot, but it goes into the ruck of the other side in Chris Jadinson. The ball will go forward, and it'll be a goal for the DC Eagles. So just 2 minutes taken for the DC Eagles to put the first goal on the board. Geez, they were pressing for this opening part of the game, and they've been justly rewarded for that. So they'll go 1 goal straight 6. They'll go ahead to no score yet by the Philadelphia Hawks. So geez, they were desperate there in the Hawks in those final moments, but the Eagles just kept pushing there. Tritzler doing some fantastic work. Mater in and about everything. Chris Jadinson in there to help us. Chris Jadinson goes back to the ruck to take her normal position there, and she'll go up against Powell again. So ready for the restart. The umpire gets set to ball up play, and up he goes, getting the tap out. There was Chris Jadinson again. She can get it straight into the hands of Trollope. Trollope can run here, and that she does. She runs and she puts the ball on her boot, and that's all she needed. Couldn't get a goal quicker than that. Alex Trollope just put the ball straight on her boot after getting the centre clearance. It bounced a few times, and it bounced straight through the goals. So that's DC Eagles' second goal of the day. 2 straight 12. They're leading the home side, Philadelphia Hawks, who are yet to score. So a very quick start there coming from the DC Eagles, the visiting side. It's the visiting side who's also had the wood over their opponents in the Philadelphia Hawks in this last month or so in the time that they've played. So it's back up here to see, can the Hawks respond now? Copping a big bump there was Megan Sullivan. She's taken to ground and she might just lie there for a moment. She's got her hands on her head. Sullivan, she took a little bit of a bump there. Just is lying on the ground as the umpire tries to get the trainers. She's getting checked on there, though, by Vicky Powell of the Philadelphia Hawks just to see if she's okay. So these two sides, they met in the 2019 USAFL National Champions Division II Grand Final. So a bit of history for them. And what a thriller that game was when the Hawks got a goal in the last 2 minutes to win by just 5 points. The key player in that game, Danielle Marshall, who we know played for the Western Bulldogs in the AFLW for the last couple of years until she was delisted this year. But she got best on ground in that game when the Hawks absolutely clinched a thrilling match. But in recent times, it has been the DC Eagles able to get the wood over their opponents. They've won by some big margins in the last couple of months, and they look to be heading that way again if the start of this game is anything to go by. 2 straight goals the DC Eagles have kicked, and geez, it's just been in their half the whole game so far. So the tap out comes out here and it might go to the advantage of the Hawks. They could be able to push forward. A bit of a rugby scrum brings Brooke Pye to ground. The umpire will come in there to ball the ball up. So Powell with a nice tap out. She can send it a little bit of distance towards the Hawks forward 50 of the ground, but it's the Eagles who jump in there to try and stop it and hold it as they can. On the bottom there is Medlin for the DC Eagles, but the ball will come out. The Hawks could have a chance here. Paddling it forward is Pasakala, but the ball will go back the way it came and it'll go into the hands of Trollope. So she's already got a goal for today. And she'll get the free kick here, Alex Trollope. So Trollope, she's got a kick on her, and it's just touched off the boot, but it'll make some distance, and she'll leave Kate Carey, her teammate, to go chasing after it as it goes out of bounds. So this time it'll be a throw-in, but geez, that kick gained plenty of distance for the Eagles, which means this throw-in will be close to the Eagles' goal. So in it comes, pulling it out was Dempsey straight out of the throw-in, but the ball will come to ground. Chasing after it is Pye for the Hawks, but it'll be incorrect disposal of the ball, and that will mean a DC Eagles free kick. So the Eagles will have another chance here. They're within scoring range. So the ball will go up. It's Chris Jansen who just pops it up with the kick, and it goes straight through the middle. So Chris Jansen with a goal there. Geez, she's been important early in the ruck and in around the forward line. So Chris Jansen there puts on DC Eagles' third straight goal, if you don't mind. They're leading 18 points to no score to the Philadelphia Hawks here at Lower Perkiomen Park in Philadelphia. Geez, the away side absolutely demolishing their opponent at the moment, but there's still plenty of time for the Hawks to show a little bit of a fight back here. And in there and trying for their side is Powell, the ruck for the Hawks. She was desperate to get the ball there. Running onto it was Russell as well. She can get a foot to it, but it doesn't move very far as she overruns the ball. The ball will fall to ground. The umpire will blow his whistle. And the free kick this time will be going the Hawks' way. So it'll be Vicky Powell, the ruck, who has the free kick here. The Hawks' first free kick, and she just heaves it forward as far as she can. She gets a bit of distance onto it, so she needs her teammates to come in here and help her out. Burdener can get a hand to it. She gets a hand pass, but it goes into the hands of Pip Nash of her opponent. So Nash can get it to Trollope, who goes for the second effort before she can pick it up. Again, she kicks the ball out wide. The boundary line could beat her, and it does. It beats Samantha Carey. So the players will just follow that ball over the boundary line on the broadcast side of the ground, and they'll have another throw up, getting very close to the drinks break here in Philadelphia. So the ball goes in. Maida tries to get her hands to it. Ball again falls to ground. They might have a chance here, DC Eagles, to get a quick goal. It goes in the hands of Tritzler. Tritzler just pops it up, and it'll bounce, and it'll bounce. And geez, Tritzler's got one. So Tritzler made something out of nothing there. Just banged it on the boot, and it bounced, and it bounced, and it got the 6 points for her side. So, 4 goals straight, the DC Eagles. Geez, they're heaping pressure on the Philadelphia Eagles as the umpire calls the drinks break. It's the Eagles by 24 points. So what can the Hawks do after this drinks break? They've got 24 points or 4 goals straight to make up here. It's tough to do, but they'll see what they can do and see if they can be up to the challenge. It's the Eagles now that just go forward. It bounces over Tritzler's head. Tritzler can gather it again. She'll just put it on the boot and she pops it up. Can she get a mark? Yes, she can. Samantha Carey standing under that one. Holds up the ball and just goes straight back because she knows she's got the kick and she's got the distance to put this one through. So Samantha Carey, it's to be her first goal of the day if she can put it through. But it would be her side's 4th of this opening term. She pops it up. It's quite high. Will it make the distance or is it marked on the line? What does the umpire say? The goal umpire and the field umpire will deliberate. It looked like it was a mark on the line, but no. The umpire has given the goal. So Samantha Carey will get her first goal of the day. Just bounces over the line there by centimetres. So, geez, the Hawks, they've been tightening their defence, but just wasn't enough on that occasion. So 5 goals straight this time. It's the DC Eagles leading the Philadelphia Hawks. Yet to miss too. Very accurate kicking from the DC Eagles, just helping their cause along here. Picking the ball out from that restart, though, was Russell. She has a bit of pace on her and she can get it across to her teammate in Lukeman. Lukeman can't pick it up cleanly, though, so this gives the Eagles an opportunity, and it's none other than Tritzler there at the bottom, who gets her hand onto that, can send it forward, but Kershaw again just mopping that up for the Hawks. She's got a kick on her, Kershaw. She sends it high, but it'll be Trollope there on the end of that one for the Eagles, so couldn't quite get it into the Hawks' advantage here to see if they could put a score on the board. Trollope with a nice long kick of her own sends it forward, but again it's mopped up and it'll go back the way it came. So the ball will go forward and it'll be the Eagles here to mop it up yet again. They've got a chance here. It's the defenders by the Eagles who need to probably pick up their strength from what they've done earlier on in this match. They haven't been required as much, and the ball will make its way over the boundary line despite the best efforts to keep it in from Turner. So throw in here. The boundary umpire directs where he will be throwing the ball in. And up it goes. It's a nice high throw, leaving the 2 rucks to go at it. It falls onto the ground. And it'll be picking up that kick will be Trollope again. So Trollope can put it on the boot. She bangs it on the right boot. She's got Mater around. She can't find her, but she's got Samantha Carey who can get on the end of it. Carey puts her hands to her head because it's a behind. And her kick scores the first point of the day, the first behind of the day for the DC Eagles, 5-1-31. They're leading Philadelphia Hawks yet to score here. So Hannah Carey there with that behind to add to her goal today already, as the Hawks look to get a move on here and see if they can just get a score on the board as they end this first term. It'll be Tritzler at the bottom. She's able to pull it in. She's got under plenty of pressure there from Brooke Pye. Great tackle from Brooke Pye to bring down Tritzler, and the umpire does say reward that, but he'll just reward it with a ball up, so not the free kick they might have liked. Pye's there to pick it up. She can just get a quick hurried kick away. She was under plenty of pressure from Trollope. Trollope goes back and sends the hand pass backwards. She can get it to Conley, but Conley's wrapped up again in the tackle, so plenty of pressure here coming from the Hawks, who will try and do their utmost to keep the ball in their forward half of the ground. Birdnow was in there for the Hawks as well, just trying to wrap the ball up, and the free kick will go the way of the Hawks, and it'll be left to Samantha Russell here to take this free kick. So she might be a little bit too far out to score. The kick doesn't come off the boot too well. It's flat and it just bounces into Chris Jadenson's foot. So she sends it forward into a pack. Coming on and jumping onto there was Trollope, and Trollope's able to pick it up, and she puts it on the boot and sends a centering kick into the centre of the ground, but it'll be mopped up by the Hawks. Strong defence here from the Philadelphia Hawks. The kick can go to the outer side of the ground, but it'll be the Eagles able to run away with this one. Taking a bounce there is Medlin. She takes another one. She puts it on the right boot. She's got a chance here, but it goes wide, and it hits the post. So Medlin there with a poster for the DC Eagles. But geez, they're peppering the goals, the DC Eagles, at the moment. It's 5-32. They're leading the Hawks yet to score. So the ball's brought back in. It's quite close to the boundary line. Can they keep it in? Yes, they can. Pip Nash can keep it in for the Eagles, and she can send a hand pass across to Kate Carey. Kate Carey's completely wrapped up in that tackle by Barbara Dempsey. And so the umpire will come in to throw the ball up very close to the boundary line. So it'll be a bit difficult to keep this one in. but the players will do their best and they're able to do that. Lukeman for the Hawks can grab it and she just sends it down the line and down the ground. She's got her teammate running onto it in Lauren Fox. Lauren Fox can pick it up. She falls over and goes to ground, and it's Trollope there who's able to clean up that for the Eagles. Coming in to jump on the ground there is Medlin. Medlin can get a quick flick away to Kate Carey, who's been coming into the game in this first quarter. As the Eagles go and they'll push forward and they'll try for another goal. Will they? No. So another point here. So after that accurate start to the game, no, it won't even be a point. It will be a out of bounds kick for the Hawks. Or the throw-in. So the throw-in will come. And the throw-in will be told to be done again because it wasn't quite up to the lofty standards. So the throw-in comes up. Mater's in the ruck there for her side. The ball falls to ground, so neither side able to get an advantage. In there is Samantha Carey for the Eagles. She's doing her best and she can just push it away until the umpire will come in here and have another throw-in just to break up things here. So up goes the ball. At the back is Turner for the Hawks. Mater's got the ball though. She puts it on the boot, but it was going wide from the moment she kicked it. So just another behind there for the DC Eagles, 5-3-33. They've taken a big lead against the Philadelphia Hawks, who still have not hit the scoreboard as such. But some nice defensive work there coming from Turner and Kershaw early in this game. So the big kick in comes out. Goes nearly to the midway point of the ground. Great way to clear from the Hawks. What can they do, though? Powell's in and amongst it there for her side. She goes in for the tackle. But it doesn't matter because it'll be the Eagles who can push forward here. Goes over the top of Mater's head. Kershaw can then pick up the ball. And again, she just bangs it on the boot and she clears it. That's what she's been doing all quarter. And she does it so well. But Medlin in the middle for the Eagles is able to pick up the ball and push it forward. The Eagles might be able to go forward here. So they'll have a chance with a mark to just push it forward. It's in the hands of Pip Nash. That kick just goes high and it goes through the hands of Kate Carey, so she can't hold on to it. Dempsey's able to out-muscle Mater. So Dempsey holds onto the ball until she's dispossessed of it. Going in there as well was Chris Janenson until the ball's cleared by the Hawks. But how far can it go? Not far enough, as it's just picked up by the Eagles and pushed forward again. Does it roll through again? Do the Eagles get another one rolling through? No, it's touched on the line by Kershaw. So the last line of defence saving a possible goal there.
Australian rules football? In the US? That's right. The United States Australian Football League is in a city near you. Go to USAFL.com, find your team, check them out. We're a group full of men and women just like you. Join us for the fun athletic competition. Stay for the camaraderie. We are the champions! Log on and sign up to join your team at USAFL.com.
So the Hawks might be looking to capitalise on what was a scoring end during that term. A red-hot DC Eagles piled on 6 goals for. So the Hawks have a lot of work to do. This time the Hawks will be kicking to the right-hand side of your screen or the creek end. Well, the DC Eagles go to the Pottstown Expressway end, which will be the left-hand side of your screen. It'll be in the hands of Chris Janenson, who can get the ball away, and she'll find Trollope. Trollope just puts it on the boot. She's been dominant in the midfield so far. There's Mater up forward for her team. Kershaw's doing her best to stop this run, and she'll have some support from Dempsey. Dempsey can get in and amongst it, but geez, the Eagles have piled on here, and Tritzler's made sure she's in and amongst it, and the umpire will be forced again to come in here and throw out the ball, so deep inside that Eagles forward line. So up goes the ball, and it'll fall onto the ground. Pies there for the Hawks. She can try and pick it up. It goes through her legs and she can't manage to pick it up, so this time it'll be Nash who can put it on the boot. It's smothered to ground, so the Hawks might be able to go forward here. What can the kick do and how far can it get it? It can get it quite a distance away from the Hawks defensive end. Getting the ball there and picking up was Lukeman, who again just banged it on the boot to see how far she could get it, but it was cleaned up by the Eagles, who were able to go forward again. But Pies there for the Hawks, and geez, the Hawks have started this quarter quite well. So Lukeman with the ball She goes in for a second effort, and that second effort is a hand pass. She was looking there for Fox, but Fox was out-muscled to the ball from Trollope. Trollope can push that forward, and she sends it towards Revelezza. Revelezza does well there just to get it away, and the ball, again, will be in some dispute here. It's both teams that have just been going at it, neither able to gain control. Powell had it, and she tried to get it to Dempsey. Dempsey was pushing it along there, and it was Nash who could get it for the Eagles. Pip Nash who gets it away, and the players will go chasing after the ball now as it returns to the middle of the ground. Running after it there was Medlin. So Medlin with a bit of pace can pick it up. She sends a high ball up, and it'll be ably taken as a mark for the Hawks. So fantastic clean mark there taken by Dempsey. So Dempsey pushes it out to the outer side of the ground. So the Hawks here with a string of marks to get their second term underway. Powell can put it on the boot, and she just pushes it up. She's looking for Pasacala. Pasacala can't mark, though. So it'll be into the hands of Trollope again. So Trollope just pushes it forward. She was looking there for Revelezza. Didn't quite get her as cleanly as she would have liked. So the Hawks might be able to push forward here. That they do. But again, it'll be cleaned up by the Eagles. The Eagles will take a mark here and might just be able to slow things down. So the ball goes forward, but geez, yet again, it will ping-pong straight back. Barbara Dempsey with the mark, and with a nice kick that goes high, and it was a good-looking kick, but it is cleaned up by Kate Carey. It's the intercept mark there taken by Kate Carey, who goes with a big kick to the outer side of the ground to see what she can do with it. She can get into the hands of Pip Nash. The Eagles might be able to go forward here, depending on what options are ahead of them. What can they do? Well, there's all Hawks at the moment, but a beautiful tackle there by Tritzler. Will she be rewarded? No, the umpire will let play go on. Could have been a holding the ball on a Tritzler free kick. But the Eagles might be able to do something here anyway, and they'll just mop that ball right up and send it. But geez, it's been played in the middle of the ground at the moment this quarter. That was Russell in and amongst it for the Hawks. Both sides really pushing in this quarter, and the Hawks doing a really good job not to let the DC Eagles score as quickly as they did in that first term, as the hand pass from Revelezza goes to Trollope. Trollope pushes it forward again. She's looking for the full forward in Maida, but again it'll be cleaned up by Kershaw to Fox. Fox brings the ball to ground, and the umpire will come in to throw the ball up. So still in the DC Eagles front side of the ground. They're kicking to the left-hand side of your screen as Trollope waltzes her way in there, picks up the ball, puts it on the boot, and it'll bounce forward back into play. So not even a score there for Trollope. As the ball goes towards the boundary line, Lukeman can stop it and she'll pick it up. She spins around and she puts the ball onto the boot. Running onto it there was Spear for the Hawks. It's Medlin who can pick it up though and send it forward for the DC Eagles. So the ball will go forward, and Medlin's able to find her teammate, and she's able to find Nash. So Nash, what can she do with it? She pops it up, but her teammate's not able to mark, so it'll come to ground here, and the Hawks might be able again to do something with it if they can clear it out cleanly. They can't, because it's the pace of Kate Carey who comes running in and throws it on the boot. She goes on the run. She doesn't have the distance. So it'll be Kershaw who has no problems at all in taking that mark in the goal square. So Kershaw, long clearing kick. Where can she get it? She gets it into some space, and she's got Turner running into that space, but she's not able to pick it up. So instead it'll be Medlin and Turner going for the ball. Turner can pick it up in her second effort, and she tries to get it across to Powell. Powell goes in for the tackle of her opponent. The umpire will let play continue though, as the DC Eagles try and push forward again, this time through Medlin. So Medlin's had plenty of the ball as well. She was there looking for Revelezza, who couldn't cleanly pick up the ball. Stays in the hands of the Blue, and it's in the arms of Conley when the umpire comes in and throws the ball up to break up play. So uncontested is Chris Shanson in the ruck. She can bring it down. She gets it to Revelezza again. Revelezza can find Trollope. Trollope's running onto the ball here. Can she weave around Kershaw? She gives the don't argue. She can't put it on the boot cleanly though, but she goes back for the second effort. Trollope. Can the Eagles get a goal out of this? Yes, they can, and it comes from Pip Nash. So that was a bit more of a difficult goal than the DC Eagles have had to manufacture. But manufacture they do nonetheless. 6-4-40. It's the DC Eagles leading Philadelphia, who are yet to score. So just Pip Nash with the first goal of this second term. It's taken 6 minutes to get there, but they got there, the DC Eagles. So the Hawks have picked up their defensive efforts so far this game, and geez, they made the DC Eagles work hard to get that goal. So 40 points will be the margin here as we near the halfway point of this fourth quarter. The ball might fall into the hands of Pasacalla, not quite. It's into the hands of Nash, her opponent. So Powell able to manage to get the ball and get that hand pass across. Could be a string of hand passes that might lead to something for the Hawks. It'll be up to Turner to see if she can be first to the ball. She can get to the ball, but Kate Carey will fight her for it. Kate Carey's able to pick up the ball. Will it go over the line? Yes. So just bounced over the line there when Kate Carey went to gather it, which means we'll have another throw in. So DC leading by a big margin here, as they have in their two previous matches against Philadelphia in the last month or so. The ball thrown in at the bottom could be Kate Carey. She could have picked it out. She doesn't. She lets it bounce, but she goes after it. She's trying to outmuscle. It's a 1v3, and she's trying to outmuscle her opponents. Does enough to let her teammate get the ball, and her teammate can just weave it inside. The ball will bounce and bounce. Will it bounce into the hands of Trollope? Yes, it will. And she turns around, swings around, and sends the ball forward. How far forward can it get? Reveletta can get a hand onto it, but it'll be Dempsey for the Hawks, who can just send a clearing kick to the outer side of the ground. They may be able to find the safety of the boundary line. Yes, they will, and they'll find the safety of the whistle. It's 6:4:40 at the drinks break. The DC Eagles leading the Hawks. So the Hawks will be looking to put on their first score before the halftime break. They've got 7 or 8 minutes to do that. What can they do? It's Power with the tap out, and she gets a bit of distance on it. So this might be a little bit of a chance for her side. Running around and dodging around, and it was Brooke Pye. She went the wrong way with a bit of a grin. She went the right way, but she was stopped in her tracks there by Nash. So the umpire will come in and pay the free kick, though, to Pye. So Pye will have the free kick and might be able, she's not quite within scoring distance. She can see the goal. She might line up anyway and see if she can make it. The Hawks might want to head their way towards that goal square. So you can't get the distance, but it'll just filter out over the boundary line. So not in a bad position here for the Hawks, though, because she's gained some meterage with that. And the ball will be thrown in the Hawks' forward pocket as they kick towards the creek end of the ground. So the ball thrown in. It goes over the ruck's heads. It'll be at the bottom. Fighting for it is Pye again. She tries to do something with it, but she can't. Her teammate Lukeman was in there to lend a hand. It's the Hawks who can get a few hands on the ball, but they just can't pick it up cleanly. It'll be Trollope in there to hold up proceedings, and the umpire will come in and send another ball up. Powell and Christensen both can get a hand on it. Christensen can pick it up, and she'll get the hand pass across to Trollope, who again goes with a bit of a trademark turn. She just flings it onto the boot. Running onto it will be Tritzler. Tritzler's tackled heavily by Russell, but manages to do well and get a handball out. Tritzler goes after the ball, and she's brought to ground, but she's helped up there by her opponent, Samantha Russell. And the umpire will come in, and he'll pay a free kick, though, and it will go to Tritzler. Or it'll go to Trollope, rather. So Trollope with the free kick. Just gains another possession by that free kick. She again was looking for Reveletta, as she has done a couple of times today. The kick doesn't amount to anything from Reveletta, though, because the Hawks are in there to try and hold things up. But the umpire will step in, and the free kick there will go to Tritzler. So Tritzler will take her steps back here, because she's got a chance to score. The ball skyrockets up into the air before it's taken by the Hawks with a strong mark down back there. So the Hawks holding on to that one and stopping another score. Again, their defence is held up, but that kick ably cut off by Trollope. So it'll ping-pong back the other way. So Trollope puts it on the boot, and she sends it into a little bit of space. Chris Jansen can run onto it, but Dempsey's there for the Hawks as well. Dempsey, another one who's been strong in defence. She gathers it. She's tackled, and the ball will be paddled along there by Pasacalla. So Pasacalla can paddle it along, gain a bit of distance, but geez, that distance doesn't amount to much because Pip Nash is there, and she can pick it up, but she's tackled by Pasacalla. Pasacalla going back in there and doing some fantastic work to make sure that ball did not become any score. So Pasacalla with a great run and chase there, And she'll have the ball here and she'll go for the kick. So she puts it on that right boot. She's on the outer side of the ground. She was looking for a teammate in Lukeman. Just went over her head, but Powell was there to pick it up. Powell can put it on the boot. She can't gain too much distance with that, so it'll fall on the ground and it'll go into the hands now with Samantha Carey. So Carey of the Eagles can push it. She went for Chris Jadinson and tried for her height, but the ball went over her head. So Pasakala getting a few touches in these last few minutes, gets the ball away again. She got to Powell. Powell's along the boundary line, so she'll have to keep it in. Can she keep it in? She can get a hand pass away as she's on the ground. Picking it up there is Trollope. Trollope picks it up and sends it forward. But again, running onto that there was Dempsey for the Hawks. So Dempsey, another strong period for the Hawks defence from Dempsey there. So doing a great job there as the players share a bit of a laugh. So the free kick will go the Eagles' way. And it'll be sent in there. Will it be cleaned up by Dempsey? I think it will be. She'll be there and she'll be able to pick up the ball yet again. She has to send out a hurried hand pass and she can get it to Pasakala. Nice little bit of linkage here. If Burdener can pick it up, nope. She'll be beaten by the boundary line, Burdener. And the umpire will have to come in and throw the ball in. So the ball thrown in as the Rucks come at it. This time it was Nash for the Eagles going up at it, and it'll be Trollope who can come in there and grab it, but her kick is smothered by Pasakala. Pasakala back with the ball. She's got to push it out over the back of her head, and she can find Lukeman at the back who's running onto it. But again, it'll be the Eagles in Chris Jadinson who can run onto this one. Just the ball going into a little bit of space. Trying to run onto it there was Fox. Fox goes to ground. Maida can pick it up, though, and get a quick handball away. Kershaw's there, though, to pick it up for the Eagles, and that she does. And she just bangs it on the boot, and she can get it a fair distance away from the danger zone for the Eagles as the Hawks just try and keep the Eagles from scoring again this half. That could be a success for them if they are able to do that. Running onto it will be Pye for the Hawks. She just can't gather it. It falls onto her boot. It goes into her hands, and in the end it ends up into the hands of Tritzler. So Tritzler on the right bends it back into a bit of space, and it'll be Maida who can pick it up. No, she can't because she's got Kershaw there. So Kershaw can pick it up. And this time it will be a free kick, though, for Maida. So the Eagles benefiting from yet another free kick. Does Maida think she's got the distance? She's looking like she wants to pass off. And instead she just pops it up and sees what she can find. She ends up finding Trollope, who just runs in there. She seems to find the ball wherever she is. Trollope to Chris Jadinson. Chris Jadinson's kick looks straight, and Chris Jadinson's kick is straight. So the DC Eagles with a late goal, 7-4-46. They're leading Philadelphia, who are yet to score. So some great work there from the Hawks to hold off a bit of a barrage from the DC Eagles, but in the end, it was a goal there to Chris Jadinson, and it's Chris Jadinson's second for the day. A nice straight kick there, benefiting from Trollope coming in and getting the pass across to her, allowing her to capitalise. So 46 points the margin as we near the halftime break here in Philadelphia. The tap out, though, from Powell goes straight to her opponent in Trollope, who has been everywhere. Trollope could have found Conley, but the ball bounces the wrong way. Conley goes back to pick it up, and she sends the hand pass to Trollope. Trollope just barrels it forward. She can find Maida. Can Maida? No, she just doesn't have the height to get it because she's out-muscled by Fox, who can send a clearing kick away to the centre of the ground. Sobral's there for the Eagles. Can she pick it up? She fumbles a little bit, and then she can pick it up, and her kick looks good. Where does her kick go? Bounces through the legs of her Hawks opponent. Running onto it, though, will be Nash for the Eagles. Pip Nash looks like she's going goalward, and she was. She had Maida, and she had her teammate Revelezza there. Maida goes back to get it, but it'll be touched on the line. And the DC Eagles will add another score, 7-5-47 now. They're leading their opposition, who just can't quite get onto the scoreboard as the umpire signals half-time. It's the DC Eagles by 47 points.
My first game, I stood there and I was just like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm just gonna run. I just kept going, and I kept going to practice. I kept going to the games. And eventually it just clicked. And I was just like, oh, I get it now. Like, this is fun.
Aussie rules, is also known as footy, is the equivalent of like the NFL here. And so in Australia they call it AFL.
So in Australia, it's a huge sport, especially for the women. It's getting even bigger.
It's empowering for women, young women.
It's really great to just be able to run around and just have so much fun with a bunch of people that love the same sport that you do.
It just gives me this energy that I just can't describe, and it just brings me like so much joy.
It's a great physical outlet, but also the people that we play with are just so amazing.
These are the girls that if you want to dress up and go out, they'll be there for you. If you want to be in your sweatpants all day and eat chocolate and watch Netflix, they're also there for you.
I think that this sport has something for everyone.
I just feel like anyone and everyone should try it, give it a go, and just see if they like it.
If you're watching this video, it's not by accident. This is for you.
So at halftime, there would have been no shortage of things the Hawks might have wanted to address in that match. At the top of the list, you'd think would have been stopping Alex Trollope, who has just been prolific in this match. So it'll be the Hawks who just want to score. They'll be kicking towards the left-hand side of your screen, but it'll go to the right-hand side because it's none other than Trollope with the ball, and geez, she finds the safe hands of Samantha Carey. So Samantha Carey's got a goal already. She might not make it completely the distance here, so she goes out wide. She's trying to find someone in a better position, but it'll be Kershaw there who just was able to mop that one up for her side. So Kershaw with another intercept mark. She's been racking them up, and she'll send it across to Lukeman. She nearly could find Lukeman, but it slipped through her hands. So Samantha Carey's gone back in there for a second effort. She sends it off to the prime position there to Sobral. Sobral was directly in front, but a bit of pressure, a bit of perceived pressure perhaps from Dempsey means that she'll just gets it out to the left of the big sticks. So 76-48, the Eagles, their lead will get to 48 points here. It's a big margin, and there's a lot to be done, and Kershaw looks like she's contemplating that as she sends the ball as far away from that defensive area as possible. But it'll ping back in. Running onto it is Trollope. Trollope can get it away. Can she get the goal away? The umpire just watches it go through the middle. And Trollope with a goal. 8-6-54. The DC Eagles are leading their opponent, Philadelphia Hawks, at Lower Perkiomen Park. Trollope with her second goal of the day. She's been masterful throughout this day and has been key in a lot of passages of play. And this time she sends it straight through the middle for the 6 points, as the Hawks are left with nothing else to do but to go and gather that ball and return it to the umpire in the centre of the ground. So it's a tough day here at the moment for the Hawks, battling a lot of good DC Eagles players as well as the heat, which just makes life a little bit more difficult here during the USAFL Summer Series as plays restarted. A crunching tackle there from Russell. She means business at the moment for the Hawks, and she goes after Trollope again. Trollope gets the hand pass away, but the umpire jumps in and will give the free kick across to Powell. So Powell looks ahead of her. She looks to see what can she find. She pushes it forward, and unfortunately she can find the hands of Medlin, her opponent. So Medlin puts it on the left boot, and she just pops up. It goes over Chris Jadenson's head, and this time it'll go into the hands of Fox. Fox can get the ball across to Pasakala. Pasakala, as she's falling, just pushes the ball away with a quick hand pass. Her teammate Burdener was under plenty of pressure from Maitner, and it might be enough for the Eagles to go forward. No, Pasakala back in and amongst it again. She just pushes it forward. Mater, who's gone back into defence for this quarter, can get the ball away, and Mater goes with the Shepherd as well to hopefully give Trollope a little bit of an opportunity to get the kick away cleanly. She can get it to Chris Janison, who's tackled by Pasakala, who's running around the midfield for the Hawks at the moment. It'll be Powell who's in and amongst it there for her side. But instead it's Kershaw who can pick it up for the Hawks and send it along, dribbling along the ground. Mater's there to pick it up for the Eagles. She just flicks across a quick hand pass. Medlin can pick it up cleanly on the bounce, and Medlin opts for the kick this time, and she'll just push it forward. But the ball will just play on. In and amongst it was Medlin again. She goes to ground. A few players falling on the ground here in this contest. Who can stay on their feet? It's Trollope. Trollope can stay up and can get a flick away hand pass. Pye was amongst there for the Hawks, as was Powell, as was Lukeman, before the umpire comes in to blow the whistle. And this time we'll have a throw up. No, we won't. We'll have a free kick. It will be going to Tritzler. So it's a free kick in the creek end of the ground, which means it will be the DC Eagles scoring end. So Tritzler puts it on the right boot. Can she make the distance? No, she can't. But who can mop it up? Can Samantha Carey mop it up? She can, but she just flings it on the boot and it's wide. So it'll be a score for the DC Eagles, who now move to 55 points ahead of their opponent, but not the one that Samantha Carey was looking for from quite close to the goals. Kershaw makes that trek back to get the ball, and she'll just go for what she's become synonymous for, and that's the big kick in. So she goes out to the outer side of the ground and she goes wide. Nash is there for the Eagles and can run onto it unless she's beaten there, and that she is. She's beaten by Russell, who can pick it up, and it's a tough hand pass she's got to get out because she's under plenty of pressure. And the ball will go back the Eagles' way. It'll be flung forward. Beautiful pressure there coming from Dempsey. What a great tackle to bring her opponent to the ground. Could have been a free kick. No. It won't be a free kick to the Eagles. It'll be a ball up. So great tackle there, Dempsey, on Sobral of the Eagles. So up goes the ball and it falls down. Who can gather it? Chris Jansen was trying to get it. She was going up against Lukeman as she tried to do it. And the umpire will just pull that back. And we'll have a drinks break already. So it'll be the DC Eagles at this drinks break, 54 points leading. So back after that drinks break, it's the DC Eagles, who really have done no wrong this match so far. What will they do? Will they just heap this pressure on for the remainder of the match, or can the Hawks cling back something and claw back a goal, claw back any sort of margin? At the moment, it's the Eagles who are just pushing forward, and the ball will go wide here, though. And it'll be left to a few of the support staff to go running after it as it settles in the field. Obviously playing on a smaller field today with the extreme heat at the moment, 90 degrees Fahrenheit there, meaning a few drinks breaks and a smaller field during this USAFL Summer Series match. As the ball's thrown in, getting the tap out was Turner, who can bring it to ground. But Kershaw has it when she stops in her tracks by the umpire. He'll come in and they'll be told, you need to throw that one back in again, please. So the umpire will come back in again just to get a little bit more distance. Gets the thumbs up and gets a bit of distance on that throw out. It goes out the back. Pye tries to pull it in, but Tritzler's there as well for the Eagles, and she's the one that can get it and throws it on the right boot. Does she get a goal out of this? Yes, she does. Tritzler, straight from the boundary throw-in, picks up the ball, throws it on the boot while everyone was looking at the boundary throw-in. She got the goal, Olivia Tritzler. So 9-7-61, this margin has blown out to by the Eagles, as the home side Philadelphia Hawks still searching for that first score of the day as we get very close to three-quarter time. Time is running out a little bit, but the DC Eagles, well, they've played 2 times in the last month. The Eagles have won both. One by 30, one by 73. So this one following along in the same little suit. As the ball comes forward for the DC Eagles as they push again, it's Fox who can get a hand pass away. She's been strong defensively for the Hawks. Spear holding the ball, but she's out-muscled by Trollope, who forces Spear to drop the ball. And that will be incorrect disposal, meaning Trollope will gain the free kick. So Trollope this time, again, throws it on the boot and tries to get some distance. It goes over the top of everyone, and it'll keep bouncing until it's picked up there by Kershaw. And Kershaw takes a few steps and puts it on the right boot. She gets it very deep into her side's attacking half with a booming kick, but Maida can pick it up for the Eagles. Her kick can only get as far as Powell. Powell pushes in there, and it can get to Martinovsky. Martinovsky will send it across to Spear. Spear goes for the goals, and Spear gets a goal. Caitlin Spear with Philadelphia Hawks' first goal of the day. It's taken till nearly the end of the third term, but geez, the player's arms go up to celebrate. She gets a high five from Brooke Pye, Caitlin Spear, for putting on her side's first goal of the day. 9-7-61. Philadelphia now 1 goal straight, 6th the margin, 55 points here in Philadelphia. So a bit to celebrate there for the Hawks, and it was a nice quick goal on the rebound that they were able to get there. Caught their side off guard, booming kick from Kershaw in defence, set that up, and the Hawks were able to make the most of it. Now it's up to see whether they can make it 2 in a row. Lukeman with the kick out of the centre, she sends it forward. It'll be cleaned up there by the Eagles, but it won't go too far before the Hawks will try and go forward here. Through Spear again, the ball will just be pushed forward. It'll go out wide. It will stop, though, before it goes over the boundary line. So there might be a chance here. Maida can pick it up. She walks past it. She again goes with the Shepherd, and it'll be Trollope with the ball. Who'll send it to the centre of the ground. Not much ahead of it, Trollope, so Kershaw can pick that up and put it on the boot and go forward before Trollope just, again, runs in and gets the ball. She just goes for home and sees how far she can get it. It's going wide, though, and there's Dempsey there for the Hawks, also able to chase after it. So Dempsey puts it across to Kershaw. Kershaw just aims for the safety of the boundary. Nope, she's got the safety of Brooke Pye, who can keep it in, smothered by Nash. Again, it's teetering along the boundary line there. Pike will get it back and get another disposal as the ball's on the deck. And Trollope's at the bottom of that pack. And the umpire comes in and signals the ball will be thrown in. Nope, the ball will be Trollope's last touch rule, meaning she'll be able to kick it forward. So Trollope sends it forward. It's stopped by Pye, who can bring it down. Tritzler's there for the Eagles, though, to help out. As the ball just bobbles along the ground, the Eagles are able to pick it up. They can't get it cleanly because getting the tackling there was Turner. So Turner of the Hawks getting a nice little tackle there just to stall the Eagles in their tracks a little bit. And that's what they'll do. And they'll benefit from this one because the Hawks have a chance to go forward, and there's just enough time maybe for them to score. No, there's not, because it will be the three-quarter time siren. 9-7-61. It's the Eagles leading Philadelphia 1 goal straight, 6.
Australian rules football? In the U.S.? That's right. The United States Australian Football League is in a city near you. Go to USAFL.com, find your team, check them out. We're a group full of men and women just like you. Join us for the fun athletic competition. Stay for the camaraderie.
We are the champions!
Log on and sign up to join your team at USAFL.com.
Philadelphia with their first goal in the third term. Can they get another in this fourth and final term? They start the way they mean to go on, and they push it forward. There's Pasicella, who just scoops it and pushes it forward, and it could just do the job. It's in the hands of Martinovsky when she's tackled. And it'll go Kate Carey's way for the Eagles. So Carey pushes it forward, and she can find Tritzler. Tritzler's around there, but again, the Hawks' pressure can do something here from Pye. No, not quite. The Eagles will continue to press forward here. Chasing after it there was Conley of the Eagles, until again the Hawks can just send that clearing ball out of defence like they have done so well today. But also doing so well today has been Trollope, and she stops it right in its tracks in the midfield. So Eagles controlling that midfield today despite the best efforts of the Hawks in defence. And again, that'll be on show here as the ball just pings straight back into the middle. And who can run onto this one? It'll be the Eagles. Quick hand pass can get there. Can get to Maida, who can pick it up cleanly. Her hand pass will go into some space, and she'll need some players to run onto it. Why does she need some players? It's just Maida who runs onto it again. She sends another hand pass across to Sobral. Maida's there. She's another option. Sobral goes for goals, and Maida's hands goes up because it's the DC Eagles with another major on the board. Their 10th goal for the day, 10-7-67. They're leading Philadelphia 1 goal straight, 6. So Maida went in with the second and third efforts, but in the end wasn't needed. With the goal coming there and adding to the DC Eagles total. Huge efforts there from the Eagles as the play continues. So, Eagles, can they go again? How many goals can they put on this quarter? Was that their goal, just to pile on as many as they could? Oh, stopped in her tracks there is Tritzler. She can't move forward at all. Kershaw is there and was a brick wall. And the umpire will come in and will throw the ball up there. Kershaw just stopping Tritzler before she had any other ideas. And Kershaw will just contest the ruck as well, if you don't mind. The ball forward to ground. Picking it up was Trollope. Trollope swirls it around and puts it on the right boot. It goes out wide and it'll be cleaned up here by the Hawks, who can get a little bit of the ball and some distance away from their defensive end. It's tapped across. Mader's down there and she might be able to gather, but she opts just to push it away. She might have been the intended person for that hand pass, but no matter, it's into the Hawks' hands now. Quick kick away there can come, but it'll be the Eagles now pushing, and they'll push and they'll press and they'll go forward yet again. It goes through the hands of Samantha Carey. Picking it up there will be Turner of the Hawks. She weaves through a couple of opponents to get the hand pass away, and the Hawks might be onto something here. Have they got enough numbers ahead of the ball? No, because it'll be Eagles at the back, in the back line, who can just pick that one up and send it forward. So the Eagles will go forward here. Trollope with the kick on the outer side of the ground. Nice string of marks here from the Eagles. Give them an opportunity to go forward. The ball goes through a few Hawks defenders. Kershaw diving on it in that back line. And she's got her opponents on top of her. She had Sobral, she had Samantha Carey on top of her, but Kershaw was not letting go of that ball. But it'll be the goal square now where this ball is thrown up. A perilous place for the Hawks. Christiansen with the hit out, but the ball ricochets back in. The Hawks desperate to get the ball out of this area. They're pushing and trying to get it away. Trollope's there as well. She can't pick it up cleanly. Now she can. She's tackled. She shrugs off the tackle, puts it on the right boot. She's looking for a teammate. It goes over the top of Samantha Carey's head, but Tritzler's there to lend some support. She's got under a lot of pressure with Pye, and Pye's there to put enough pressure on her to cause her to dispose of the ball as the Hawks try and get this away. Pasacala there with plenty of pressure on as the tackler, but the ball will stay in the hands of the Blue like we've seen so often, and it'll go into the safe hands there of Pip Nash. So Nash is already a goal scorer today, and she'll go back now and she'll go for another one. So Pip Nash aiming to put on the 11th goal of her side's day. It's been a dominant performance here by the DC Eagles, and Pip Nash will be pretty keen to continue that along, but it'll just be a behind. So Pip Nash with a behind there brings the margin to 62 points. 10 goals, 8 there by the DC Eagles. The Hawks just with the 1 goal straight, but they scored that goal quickly, so they've got a chance to do it again. Kershaw with the kick doesn't come off her boot as well as has today, which gives the Eagles another opportunity, and it's Pip Nash again who just puts it on the boot and sends it towards goals. And it'll be a mark taken by Christina Sobral. So Sobral will line up here. She's on a slight angle, about 20 metres out, and the umpire comes in to make sure she makes that angle right. So it'll be a bit of a difficult kick. She puts a lot on it, but she hasn't got the distance, and it does go wide. There's still a chance here, though, for the DC Eagles, and this chance will come from a free kick going the way of Samantha Carey. So Samantha Carey was just pulled to the ground in that marking contest, meaning she'll have the free kick. Again, she's on the other side of the ground to where a teammate took the kick, but she's got the same angle as Sobral to contend with. So it doesn't waste too much time in getting the ball on the boot. It's a good-looking kick. It's a very good-looking kick, and the umpire agrees. So the DC Eagles have moved to 11-8-74. They're leading by 68 points here now. They won by 73 points in the past month against this side, so might just be looking to see if they can outdo that margin. So another goal there to Samantha Carey, whose kick never looked like missing. As we go for drinks, 11-8-74 to 1 goal 6. It's the DC Eagles leading. So not long left in this match now. Geez, it's the DC Eagles who have put on a show today. 11 goals, 8 they have scored. Huge margin they've built, and they might just be looking to add on to that in this final bit. 68 points they're leading by, and they won by 73 points in the last month against the same opponent. So a goal would do the trick of just getting them above that margin, and that's a nice little goal just to keep you going And that might be what Medlin's thinking as she sends that ball forward. It'll be cut off, though, and players will pile on to just hold that ball where it is. Chris Jansen, make sure of that. Make sure the umpire will be in there to throw the ball up. So Powell makes her way back in for the Hawks, and she's able to get her hands on that along with Chris Jansen. So the ball goes to the outer side of the ground. That's picked up here by Trollope. Trollope sends it forward. What can happen here? Can a goal be manufactured? Sobral can get it. She calls for the ball again, but it's off to Tritzler. Tritzler can put it on the boot. Can she put it through the middle as well? Yes, she can. So Tritzler comes in there. Another multiple goal kicker for the day for the Eagles is Tritzler, as she puts through her side's 12th goal of the day. And that means that margin is now above the 73 points the DC Eagles won by when they played the Philadelphia Hawks in this past month. So the margin goes out to 74 points. The Hawks, of course, playing with a few top-up players from the DC Eagles, helping them out a bit to ensure this USAFL Summer Series match goes on. Nice hot weather they're playing in too. 90 degrees Fahrenheit to contend with. Means it's a very tough day out there on the field. Not too long, though, for the players to stand in the sun. Oh, we've got an injury here there from Park Sala. So we hope Park Sakala is okay as she's carried off the ground by a member from each side. So just a bit of an injury there. Played very well, Pasakala, today. Lots of intent, lots of drive, and lots of chasing after those DC Eagles runners who have been running all day. So not good for Pasakala, but hopefully it's just a minor injury that sees her carried off during this match. So the umpire will look soon to restart play once she's safely off the ground. As Turner makes her way back to her position. It's Powell and Chris Jansen there, who are set to contest the ruck, as they have done for most period of today. The ball goes up and Powell gets it over the head of Chris Jansen. Running onto it there was Spear for the Hawks. Spear can get it to Fox. Fox is taken to ground, but it looks like it's Medlin who might be the worst off in that tackle. So Medlin was doing the tackling, but she might have just landed a little bit awkwardly. But she may also benefit from the free kick coming from that tackle. So, bit of a cramp there for Medlin, who just goes for the toes and gets the cramp out of that calf. So Medlin sends it and she'll find her teammate in Nash with a beautiful kick there. Pip Nash, very clean hands, has been having a good day as well on the field. So Pip Nash sends it forward, but it'll be cleaned up there by Dempsey of the Hawks. Dempsey just sends the ball away as far as she can. The ball goes over the boundary line. So the umpire's there to come and throw it in, as the rucks also come running to make sure they're there to contest, and they put their hand up to show the umpire that it will be them. It's the same rucks we've seen all day, though. There's Berdner at the bottom instead, who's just able to gather a little bit, but again, it'll be in the hands of Eagles, and Medlin's got the ball, and she goes for a little bit of a run here, and it's a good-looking kick out wide. She might be able to find Samantha Carey. No, it's stopped before there by her teammate in Tritzler. So Tritzler can get it forward. The ball might go over the top of Kershaw's head. No, it won't. Nothing goes over the top of Kershaw's head. But the umpire will come in again. And unfortunately, we've got yet another injury. So not a good-looking injury here at the moment. A couple of players going down in this last period of this match here. Looks to be a shoulder injury. And Medlin's in there to help as much as she can. Obviously a tough game, and it's a tough game to be played in this heat. Might be a few odd falls that can cause some of these injuries. So we'll have another pause here just as the runners come on to help, and it'll be still the DC Eagles, though, leading by a margin of 74 points. 80-6. It's a big margin. And you hope players are going off as well as a precaution, just in case, as obviously the game has been run and won by the DC Eagles. So have a little bit of a substitution here as the game again is restarted, and the ball will be brought and kicks straight into the middle as the players all go chasing after it after the restart. At the bottom of the pack there is Kate Carey. She's always in and under and has showed that today. Martinovsky can get her hands on it. Maida can also get her hands on it, and she sends the ball forward. She again goes and collects the ball again, and she'll just pull it forward, but she loses the ball, but she goes after the tackle, and she tries and gets Brooke Pye in that tackle. And she should be rewarded for that. Yes, the ball will keep bouncing along the ground as it goes into the forward half for the DC Eagles. Dempsey just trying to kick it along, playing a bit of soccer there, a couple of soccer kicks there, but it doesn't do much for her side's advantage until Kershaw can come in there and pick it up and just throw it on the boot and see how far she can get it. She gets it as far as Trollope, and Trollope just sends it back into the forward line. What can Pip Nash do? Can Pip Nash get another goal onto the board? No, it's wide and it'll bounce and it'll stay in. So Kershaw forced to defend that. And Kershaw's kick, though, goes straight to Pip Nash. So Pip Nash will line up yet again. Another multiple goal scorer for the Eagles. Pip Nash looks like she's going to go for distance, and that she does, but marked on the line there by Kershaw. Geez, she's done that all day. The last line of defence there on the line has not let anything past her fingertips if she could do something about it. So Kershaw takes a big deep breath and looks like she'll go the barrel. That she will. She'll send it up. She was looking for Fox though, but it was ably cut off there by Pip Nash. So Nash with the ball will send it towards Christiansen. Christiansen can pick it up and she can get a hand pass across. Trollope was running onto it and Trollope can get the hand pass. Trollope will get it to Samantha Carey. Will Samantha Carey get a goal? Not quite, just wide. Samantha Carey could not get that extra goal for the DC Eagles, but at the close of play here, 12-9-81, the DC Eagles have defeated Philadelphia 1-6 in an extremely dominant performance by the away side, who have come to Philadelphia and taken a mammoth victory.